Alright, so I'm just going to make a quick tutorial on how to solve master Pyraminx. So let's scramble it up. That looks good enough. So the first step is to solve the Jing's edges, which are these big edges in the middle. And the way I do that is by first creating a layer. So in this case, I could just do that for the yellow. And as you can see here, these edges are all in place. And now I just have to do last layer. For last layer, the recognition is fairly simple once you get used to it. You first want to find two edges that are facing away from each other. In this case, the blue edges are facing away. And you want to hold the blue edges on the left of the blue side, like that. And now to recognize centers, you want to look at the cycle that you have. So in this case, you can see these two centers need to swap to be solved along with these two centers. So once you know that, you can just do the algorithm. So in this case, the algorithm is like this. So now you can see that the centers and Jing's edges are all solved. So now you want to solve these wings to make a layer. So I can just do that with basic insertions. And I usually keep one spot open just so that I can do sledges and stuff like that. So now I want to solve the edges in the top. So I can see there's one slot open right now. So I can do a sledge to get it in there like this. And now you can see that top is solved. And then I'm left with a 2-gen L4 recase, like that. So to create a layer with Jing's edges, it's mostly intuitive. You just need to look at these tips, maybe solve them first if that helps you recognize, and then just go ahead and like intuitively solve it like that. This can just be practiced. There's not much to it. And to solve the Jing's edges for the last layer and the centers, like I said before, you want to find two edges that are facing away from each other. In this case, that's the reds, and you want to hold them to the left of the red side. And now look at the centers that are unsolved. So as you can see in this case, the blue center is solved. You can tell because it's on the blue side. And then you see that on the back, there's a 3 cycle that needs to happen. So green needs to go here, yellow needs to go here, and red needs to go here. So that's going in a clockwise order. So you can do the algorithm for that, which goes like this. Just like that. And now you have all the Jing's edges and centers solved. So now I just want to solve the wings again. And I accidentally solved the whole layer, but that doesn't matter too much. Now I can try solving the top. I can see here that if I just do a hedge, I can get this up there like this. And now I just solved the top. And now I have a 2-gen L4 case. Alright, so now I'll go over all the algorithms to solve the last layer, Jing's edges, and the centers. There's 10 cases in total. So in this first case, recognize putting the blues that are facing away from each other on the left of the blue side. And you see all the centers are actually solved. So in this case, the algorithm is sledge, and then U prime, L prime, U, L. For this case, you can see that there are two swaps that need to happen. So the green and the blue and the yellow and the red need to swap. To recognize these 2 swap cases, just look at the front sticker and see where it needs to go. So in this case, the front sticker needs to go to the D face, and the D sticker needs to go to the F face. So once you recognize that, the algorithm is U prime, R wide, R prime, U prime, R wide prime. And one thing to note is that this actually misorients the tip. However, this doesn't really matter when solving because the wings aren't solved. So in a normal solve, you can just do that. Okay, so this is another two swap case. It's between the front sticker and the left sticker, and then also the right sticker and the D-face sticker. The algorithm for this case is U prime, L prime rotation, R prime, L, U prime, L prime, R. Okay, so for this case, it's the last two swap case. It's between the front sticker and the right sticker, and the left sticker and the D sticker. So the algorithm for this case is R prime, U prime, L prime, U, L, R. Okay, so for this case, there's a 3-cycle going clockwise on the U face. The D center is solved. So green needs to go here, red needs to go here, and blue needs to go here. So the algorithm for this case is hedge, U, R, U prime, R prime. For this next case, there's a 3-cycle on the U face again, and it's going counterclockwise. So the red has to go here, green has to go here, and blue has to go here. The D center is solved. So hold it from here and do R, L, R prime, L prime, R2, U prime, L prime, U, L. For this case, there's a 3-cycle happening on the R face going clockwise, and the L center is solved. So the algorithm for this is L, U, R, U prime, R prime, L prime. So for this case, there's another 3-cycle happening on the R face going counterclockwise this time, and the L center is solved. And the algorithm for this is L, U, L prime, U prime, L, R prime, L, R, L2 prime. So for this case, the F center is solved, and there's a 3-cycle happening on the B face, and it is going clockwise. So the algorithm for this is R wide, R prime, U, R, R wide prime. For this case, there's another 3-cycle on the B face going counterclockwise, and the F center is solved. So for this case, the algorithm is hedge, U prime, R, U, R prime. For this case, there's a clockwise cycle happening on the left face, like that, and the right center is solved. So the algorithm for this is L prime rotation, R prime, L, U, L prime, R. For this last case, there is a 3-cycle happening counterclockwise on the L face, and the right center is solved. So you do sledge, U, L prime, U prime, L. I'm going to do some example solves now. I'll put the scrambles on screen somewhere. So let's see. Okay, so I'll probably start off by doing yellow like that, just to solve the Jing's edges, and then I'll also solve tips. So in this case, I got all my edges solved for me, so I can just do a soon to solve the centers. And now to solve the wings, I would do that. And I want to preserve this, so that's why I'm inserting it from there. So now I have my layer -1 piece. So now I want to solve the top, and I see I can insert this here. And now I have this here, so I can insert the red, blue there. And this is the wrong piece, so I can try doing a sledge to insert this. And now I have the top solved, and now I just have an L3E case. For this scramble, I'm going to do yellow again. So I'm just going to solve the tips first. So I can solve this red-yellow edge just like that. And now this blue-yellow edge is in position just to go down. And now I can just solve this green just like that. And I'll just solve those tips there too. So now I see that the reds are right there and they're facing away, so I can put them to the left of the red side. And for this case, I have a 2-swap here and a 2-swap here. So the algorithm for this is U prime, R wide, R prime, U prime, R wide prime. And now I'll just solve some wings, just like that. That solved the greens, and I'll solve the reds. I want to preserve this piece for later. And I'll have this slot open so I can do a sledge to get that piece in there. And I can do another sledge to get that piece. And now I can just solve it